Hey guys, so I got second place at a big tournament in Cologne. It wasn't a regional, but it's like a big tournament here. And yeah, I got second place with a cool deck. I played ABC with Therions. And yeah, we had 8 rounds and I went 7-1. So I would just jump straight into the deck profile. So for the starter cards, I'm running 3 Hanger, 1 set rotation, 1 terraforming. These are your main starter cards. Union Hanger is a 1 card combo, and if you draw more cards, you can even extend further beyond. And if you draw this with a Brave card, it's an FTK because you get Union Hanger and the Therion field spell. Yeah, just those are your main starter cards. Then free reactivation and free pot of prosperity. Many people are running this at 2, but I think that you have to max out on your consistency cards, because if you like see those cards, you basically only have 8 starter cards with your free prosperity, and the one match I lost, the prosperity didn't give me one of those or a piece. So yeah, this is basically a starter card, but it also, like, you can get unfortunate with it, and that's the reason why I'm playing 40 with maximum consistency. So yeah, those are basically your starter cards. And prosperity is insane, especially in game 2 and 3, to dig for side deck cards, which I'm going to talk about later. So 2 this Colosseum and 3 of the Therion guy. Also I need to talk about, because a lot of people, or like most ABC players, are running 3 of this and 2 of this, because in theory, or like the fact is that this card is better, but the problem is I want to have like the maximum consistency, and if you are drawing 2 of those, you can't do anything with those, because like you only can search 1 Regulus with this. But if you draw 2 of those, or like a combination of those, you can, if you have the Brave engine, discard 1 and then do Regulus, tag Regulus. So it's a bit more consistency, yeah. And because I'm running another field spell, a good field spell, a field spell that should be banned, it's also fine with set rotation. Okay, and then for the last like real good cards I'm playing, and I like another little thing, because I didn't max out on those, because I wanted to keep the deck count at 40, so I had to play 3 and 2 and not like max out on those, because those are basically extenders, not starter cards. 3 Enchantress, 2 Right and 1 Foolish. Same thing with the Regulus. I didn't have the space to play this at maximum. Little flex, this card shines a lot. And yeah, so I'm basically playing 6 copies of Enchantress. Foolish is better than a third Right, because you can also dump your ABC pieces, and this makes like dumping a ABC piece the last one you're missing. If you get Didicrot or something like that, you can target, and you can also target it with a Regulus, so it has basically more versatility. And 3 Enchantress is better than 2 or than 3 of Right, because drawing multiples of those are better, and you can recycle this card from the grave. So yeah, that's the reason why I'm playing this ratio. And for the pieces, I am playing 2A, 2B, 2C, and a thing that most players don't do are 2 Union Driver. So like playing the pieces at 2 is pretty normal. I would like to play this at 3, but you just don't have the space, and this card isn't like that great. It's the best piece by far, but yeah, you don't have to play it and you don't have the space for it. 2 Driver, the problem with only playing 1 driver is that if you drew this, the 1-off with Hanger, you are not able to combo, and this makes, if you draw this plus Hanger, not a 1-card combo, it makes it that like a 3, 4, 5-card combo to be able to play. So I wanted to be able to play all the time, and to make sure of it, I'm playing 2 of those. And it's like not the worst thing to draw, because if you draw like this plus Hanger, the great thing about this is this card interacts really nicely with the pieces that you can special this from the hand for like getting more damage, link climbing more. You can search this with this if you don't have any targets because you're not playing many targets, and you can add this back, and this makes like Union Hanger plus this placed around something like Veiler and Impermanence, which is really nice. And if you drew like, there are like specific combos where I talked about it, like playing this other one of is not nice or it's not good, but if you do like this plus Regulus plus base, the adventure cards plus IPs, it's also combo, so it's like specific things make this card like a bit better. Yeah, so it isn't the worst card, and I think that you have to play two in my opinion. For the real bricks, I'm playing like the adventure cards that you have to play. Those cards are great, but of course it sucks to draw them. And I'm not playing something like the Illegal Knight because I don't know. I don't want to play like 6 good cards and 4 bad cards. So yeah, I just wanted to minimize them. The cards are great. The cards are broken, but yeah, it's more than enough. And I think that Illegal Knight is yeah, just not mandatory. So basically 33 basically engine cards, and I had space for 7 non-combo cards, and because I wanted to keep the deck count at 40 and I only have space for playing 7 non-combo cards, I decided to not run hand traps because hand traps are just way too low impact and you have to play a lot more hand traps to be basically good. So that's the reason why I decided to play board breakers. And ja, ich sag einfach. And the cameraman don't have the muscles to get us through the deck profile, but it's alright. So that's the reason I'm playing basically 7 board breaker cards. Of course, like these 4 are not good going first, obviously, but I think that the boards you're making are good enough to be able to run like that cards, and you are kind of forced to play them because like with something like Ash or Impermanence, you're not winning if you go second with against anything, against like Sorcerers, like decent the low impact handlers, but Despia, the Scythe decks and so on, you're just losing. So you have to play them, and like the reason for the ratio I want to explain. The problem with Mystic Minus, Mystic Minus is a great card, and in many decks I'm playing it at 3, like in the side deck, like it's this card is really good right now. The problem is that it contradicts with your cards. Like in theory, like the reason why I'm playing this is because you have more access with it with terraforming and set rotation, but like the basic problem is that you want if you want to play, you want to activate Union Hanger, normal summon a piece, and trigger the hanger, so you're not able to activate Mystic. But it's still worth to play it in my opinion, especially game 1. Some decks are not running in out, but I'm mostly not playing for that to deck out them, but to use it as an like basically a dark ruler, but for every monster, and yeah, and then I want to try to play. And dropping is pretty broken because you can discard your pieces. It's pretty free in this deck, and you can negate the whole board. And it's not really that big of a deal to discard cards because you only have to draw you only have to be able to have 2 cards to make the full combo. And that ruler is like it's a free thing. And because of prosperity, you are you're not OTKing the opponent if you like drew this or prosperity. The win condition then is if you go second to clear the board and make your own board with like Buster Dragons, IPs, Regulars, Brave Card, and so on and so forth. So yeah, those 7 cards work really well. For the extra deck, I'm running the Sulcan Field Spell Blue Dragon. Please don't play Dino Token, and I don't know the name of this in English. Panferno, best Pokemon. But for the real extra deck, 1 Platinum Gadgets, your main combo piece, you need this card. 1 IP, your main link monster you go into for disruption. 1 Bujinki Anashima. This card is really broken because you're making basically Baguska with it, and like standard combos I'm going for this because Baguska is an auto-win button against many decks, for example Despia, Sotso and Flander. It's also pretty decent against something like the Therion decks. Yeah, and what this basically does is that you get to trigger the ABC pieces for one more time to get more pieces in the graveyard to make Bust alive. So yeah, this card's pretty good. For the Nightmare package, basically, I'm playing Cerberus, Phoenix, and Unicorn. This deck likes to link climb, especially if you go second. You like to, or this deck likes to like make something like this and this. Especially we'll see Unicorn and then into access code or Appaloosa or something. So yeah, these cards are great to basically remove all the threats to make sure that your access code, for example, goes through, so you can OTK. Yeah, and Cerberus especially is good right now because of something like Swords and Despia. Yeah, it's pretty often live. One liner, just a great card in general. You can make to steal light monsters to even link climb more, and it has a also specific reason in the side deck where I'm going to speak about shortly why this card is actually just broken. For the last link free, this is basically a flex spot, Trispania. I like this card because it has like a couple reasons. The main problem is that you are only running one link free, so, and because I was talking about that you like to link climb with this deck, like only having one link free can be problematic because you want possibly to do it again, and it's nice to have this in. And also if you want to play around Nibiru going in game 2 and 3, there are combos where you are making a link free and you don't want to waste the Unicorn. These are some reasons. It also like auto wins you the match up against Eldritch if you go first, because you can make the IP and like nobody expects this card, to be honest, so they're setting their cards. You link this off into Trispania, take your, for example, like most of the time, your Buster Dragon off, and you banish all their trap cards. So yeah, really nice card. I like this card. For the Link Force, I'm playing one access code and one Appaloosa. Mandatory, those cards are just broken. Nothing more to say about them. Your main interruption and your main OTK tool. A little flex I did also in the tournament is like in the second to last round, I activated Pot of Prosperity against a Flander player, and like after you resolve this card, your opponent only gets half of the damage this turn, and I OTK'd him through Pot of Prosperity. I made 16,000 damage, and one of the main reasons is this, and Brave cards, and Buster Dragon, and the goo. Yeah, pretty disgusting that you can make this with this deck. It's pretty funny. One Goddess. It's another flex spot, and it's pretty broken. You can make this if you go like if you have the AP on the field. You can link off opponent's monsters. It's also a great towers out, like with the Atignister and some other cards, like the Sigma, and also Psychic and Punisher, also like the main cards. Yeah, it's decent, and people are not expecting this most of the time, which is cool. Baguska, I already talked about this. This is one of your main win conditions. This is how you win, for example, against Despia. If you go second, if you go first, they have to draw like a something like Droplet or Super Poly to out this. They can't out this with their main engine, and yeah, this card is just way too broken. One of them, your main win conditions. Winning against Despia by making this going first, but also breaking their board, then making this, and they can't play. So yeah, this card is just absolutely broken. And good old free Dragon Buster Dragon. Great cards. Yeah, nothing to say about it. You have space to run free, you most of the time don't need it. A third one, I also like to banish one with Prosperity, but yeah. It's also important that you're playing the mismatch rarity first. That's the right way to play this deck. Trust me, bro. You first summon the ultra rare, then the secret, and then the Buster Dragon gets weakened, and you summon the super rare. Yeah, that's the way you play it. For the side deck, I am playing 3 Lockbirds. this card is pretty good right now against like everything that isn't sort. So basically, yeah, just a good card to name a few matchups: Flander, Despia, Therion variants, base variants, and so on and so forth. Really good card. And the other hand trap I'm playing, like I'm not playing basically low impact hand traps, but high impact hand traps because I'm not playing any besides those. And Token Collector specifically against Sword Soul, because this card is an auto win button against Sword Soul, and I think it's worth it to play this card to be able to win against the matchup, because it's one of it's this like first or second most played decks at like every tournament. So yeah, I think it's pretty good to play this card. For spell trap removal, I'm playing 3 Twin and when Red Reboot. Yeah, I am not the biggest fan of Happy's Feather Duster, because it loses against anti-spell. This is like a big problem for this deck. Playing through anti-spell, you have to draw an out or specific hands to play through it. Yeah, so you want to have some outs against it. Yeah, and against backrow decks, of course, because you're losing also against some floodgates and so on. But also the adventure cards are a big, really helpful of playing through those cards. Yeah, and then 2D barrier, like this is pretty staple, and you may be wondering why I'm only playing 2. That's the reason why I'm playing only 2 is because I'm playing this card at 3. Those are my going first cards mostly. This card, in my opinion, is really broken. This is basically anti-spell on crack, because this also plays around spell trap removal like Cosmic Cyclone, MST, 20%, and so on. It also plays around Droplet and sometimes like Super Poly and stuff like that. Yeah, this card is really broken. It's also really like important to have an out against those cards I listed, but also something like Dark Ruler, because like Dark Ruler is a pretty good card against this deck. And yeah, what you do most of the time, you summon this because it's like free with your ABC pieces, and like you have 2 card combos where you are ending on something like this with a Regulus, and like for real, what are they gonna do with an Omnigate, a Banish, and they can't play spells against something like Despia? It's obviously game, it's beyond game, but I'm citing this against every matchup. Like there's I think not a single matchup where I'm not citing this card, because even something like Sword Soul that isn't playing that many spells, it's still worth it to play this card to stop something like their engine spell cards like Vessel and Emergence and so on, but especially the board breaker cards like Droplet and Dark Ruler, which are really staple, something like Tellus against Sword Soul. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this card, especially because you have more consistent ways of seeing it with Terraforming, Set Rotation, and Prosperity to dig for this card. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this card. Yeah, so this deck is a really solid pick in my opinion, a really good deck. The only round I lost against was against a Solomon Great player who got 3rd place, a good friend of mine, and I bricked basically 2 times. I didn't draw anything to be able to play. So this is just like, this deck is not the most consistent one, but I think it was like a combination also of just being unlucky to draw 2 times in playable. The other games I drew like okay hands. Like even with like mediocre hands, you're most of the time still are able to like play through something and stuff like that. So yeah, big fan of the deck, really cool deck, ABC best deck. And a last shout out to Kartenparadies. They have like all those social media and their Cardmarket. Shout out to them for lending me cards. Great Cardmarket shop. Yeah, and subscribe to the channel also as well. Yeah, and see ya guys.